So at some point yesterday that happened. I don't recall seeing it like that. My husband had come outside to like put the hose away, and he was like, did you hit something today? It's like, no, I didn't hit anything today. First of all, I went like 2 places and was only out for a little bit, and it turns out that yeah, I was missing that. So yeah, I don't know if somebody stole it or what the hell happened, but whatever, such is life. I guess a replacement was only like 25 bucks, it's fine, but now I look like a dipshit driving around with... I'm still working on getting my sleep in order, but I managed to wake up at a decent time today, and at least by lunchtime made it out of the house to go to the gym. Working out and being in the gym and weightlifting used to be very important to me, and I've been dying to get back into that. I stopped going in July, basically, and have only been doing cardio and barely any movement since. So it was very important to me to try to get there today.
They've so far tried to rack up $1,000. Like if you look at the Facebook page now, what is it? It should be still, it's still under his name, which is crazy.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible, but it's not great. It's not great. I'm winded a little early, and I definitely, you know, it's hard when you lose muscle mass because you can just tell that I'm not as strong as I previously was, and that hurts a little bit. But I'm not happy with like where I'm at physically. I just, you know, I don't want to become a pudding person. Quiet. You have to be quiet. I don't know what's happening. You were gorgeous. They were so good. The surprise on their face though when
They're like, oh hey, we know you.
Never mind. You're not the right person. I wanted to give a little bit of like explanation about my training and my weightlifting because there's a lot of people that don't know. So I have been into fitness since about, well, my entire life, like since I was in high school. You know, I went to the gym a lot. I got into like serious CrossFit about 2016, 2017, and that was around the time when I thought like maybe I was going to take up professional wrestling. I looked into a couple different schools, places around here, and it just wasn't something that was going to work out for me. I can go into that in a different video. I've kind of talked about it before, but yeah, I got into CrossFit and it was very on and off with me. I did it for a few years. I got hurt quite a bit, and that was just the fault of some of the gyms that I went to not really paying attention to me as a beginner. And I think that's an issue with a lot of CrossFit gyms. You know, CrossFit can be a great tool, but everyone is at different levels, and so you can't have complex movements in Olympic weightlifting that aren't part of CrossFit WODs without paying attention to what people are doing. So that was my biggest gripe with CrossFit. 2020 happened, and I vividly remember I did a hair cutting video of me cutting my husband's hair to show some of my friends that wanted to cut their husband's hairs at home. And I saw myself in the video, and I didn't like what I saw. And you know, I'm all for anyone being whoever they want to be and be comfortable in whatever skin they're in, but I was not comfortable with the way that I looked at that point. I was 27, 28 years old. I think I was 28, and I just couldn't believe that I had let myself get to that point. So I started doing stuff at home. It was shut down. It was COVID. It was 2020. I was doing stuff out in the driveway. It was starting to get warmer. I had a rower that I'd bought a few months prior. So I was doing rowing and cardio, and I started running and jump roping and all kinds of things to pass the time. And then when things opened back up, I had kind of built my own gym in my garage with the supplies that you could find, because finding gym equipment in 2020 was not an easy thing to do because everybody was doing the same thing. Gyms were closed for the most part. I had actually enrolled in a few different apps, like CrossFit apps, one of them being Dead Boys Fitness. That was or is Seth Rollins' program with his trainer and a few other people, and I still am subscribed to that today just because if I feel like doing a CrossFit workout, and it's also just, it's a small, it's something that I like to support because I enjoy those people. But what I really wanted to get better at and focus on, my favorite part of CrossFit was the weightlifting components, the barbell, and no one had ever really worked with me on that. I knew I wasn't great at it, and so I don't even remember what happened. One of my old friends from a CrossFit gym I was at started going to a private weightlifting gym, powerlifting gym in my area, and asked if I wanted to come to their new CrossFit classes. So I did that. In the course of all of this, me doing these new CrossFit classes at this gym, I meet my coach. She was the CrossFit instructor for that session, and she had asked me, hey, have you ever thought about personal training? And because I had really difficult time with mobility in my hips, like getting down into squats, and I just was like, yeah, actually, I've always wanted to. I've wanted to get better at this, but no one has ever offered. It's never really been an option. And so we went through all of the motions, and she became my coach. Now, there's a whole separate story to this journey of mine that's negative, and I did not end up staying at this gym or with this weightlifting team. Both my coach and myself departed, and it's about a 2-year journey worth talking about, but for the sake of me babbling, that's how I got into weightlifting. I did a couple competitions. I fell in love with it. But at a certain point, I felt like I wanted to get back into CrossFit, so I had her start programming more CrossFit components in my training. And then I noticed I just didn't like the way I was feeling. I was being really run down. I was gaining weight. I was having to eat a lot more. I just was retaining water. I was very swollen. I look back on videos at that time, and I really was. I was really inflamed and swollen. So I am not really a CrossFit girly anymore. I like small movements. I like my weightlifting, but I basically quit weightlifting in July. I'm just now here and there trying to get back into the swing of doing movement because I don't want to turn into a pudding person, and I love it. Anyway, there's my long-winded rant. That's my journey with fitness. I could make an entire video talking about it because I've been here and there and everywhere, but weightlifting is one of my favorite things. I love it, and I miss it very much.
It is 5:29. The vlog needs to be up at 6, or it's supposed to be, and I am just now sitting down to upload all of the clips and get going. I need to cook dinner. I'm kind of just starting to get hungry, and I have to record tonight. I have a lot to do, so I won't be streaming NXT, which I haven't been anyway. A lot of people haven't for a lot of different reasons. I love NXT, but streaming it takes away, like, there are not enough hours in a day. There's just not enough hours in a day unless, you're doing it full-time, which I'm not. So I'm gonna get to editing, and Godspeed.